Welcome to the TMI Fantasy Sports Podcast with Icy Rob and myself. Follow Icy Rob at ISEE Rob on Twitter and myself, Rob Beats. The E is a 3. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at TMI Fantasy Sports. Hit it!
Yeah. Welcome to PMI Fantasy Sports 2021 NBA Finals Preview, where we will be discussing tonight the road to the finals, the starting lineups, bench strengths and weaknesses, intangibles, and the coaching matchups. But first, let's get to the news.
Read about it! Extra! Please grab young fella and extra! Read all about it! Life story of Playboy Penny!
Extra.
Little kid.
Getting into the news, what kind of news? The extra of the day for the NBA Finals. Raw Beast, my man, how's it going there today?
I'm good, man. Life's good. Fucking not as hot today as it should be.
Already.
Yeah, no, it's a good day, man.
Already. It's a good day here too. It's two for Texas Tuesday day kind of day for me. And we're gonna get into
Taco
the
Tuesdays
news
in a lot of other places.
This is true. But the NBA Finals 2021 preview, the news, there's not a lot of news. The main news, we know what it is, the extra, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm so happy I learned how to say that name so
I'm glad
well.
you did, because a lot of people on TV can't even say it right.
But that's the only news there is Giannis, whether or not he's going to play, he's going to be a game time decision. We all know he hyperextended his knee in game 5 against the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Before we just gloss over it, as the Bucks organization and as head coach, would you play, or we'll start with Giannis? Should he stay or should he go? I'm referencing the clash. Should I stay or should I go? Should he play or should he? If you're a head coach, what would you do? Does he play or not?
As a player, you're gonna want to play, but yeah, you're right. It's the head coach's job to do that. I would sit him out. And I'm gonna bring out a stat later that I know it's not gonna help everyone see what I'm seeing, but you got to play it safe, man, because he's a long-term investment. You know what I mean? Like, they got a lot of years ahead of him. You know what I mean? Giannis is 26. They just signed him on a contract. Everybody's on contract, so it is going to get harder next year. I don't know, but I say you wait it out a game, see how it works, and then
get him as much rest as possible before you. Okay, so you wouldn't even suit him up.
No.
Okay.
Now it's the finals. A lot of people.
Yeah, that's not a good sign being in street clothes.
No, but and a lot of people would be like, "Oh, what's the finals? You got to play him." Yeah, but what good is he gonna be if he gets re-injured and then he's out from the beginning of the next year, huh?
I.e. Kevin Durant when he played with the Warriors when he re-injured his Achilles and had to sit out a whole year.
Yeah.
Not quite the same injury, but this is what we used to call back in the day when I was growing up in Oakland. We called it the yay. You'll figure that out later on why we called it the yay. But we used to call this a sticky situation sticky. And I'm kind of with you. I would leave it up to the player. He knows his body. The trainers and the medical staff can see there's no tear. Hyperextension is not. It's not something to just gloss over and sneeze at. I personally, I know it's going to be hard for him, but I would sit a game, and if they can get a game in Phoenix without him. But if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass every time he jumped off the ground. He needs to play. He needs to play. If he can, see what he can do.
Right. I'm gonna throw something out there real quick. I was gonna say later, but since we're in the topic right now, as a starting unit with Giannis, that starting lineup of Drew Holiday, Middleton, PJ Tucker himself, and Brooke Lopez averaged 28.7 points a game. When Portis is entered into the lineup and Giannis is out, it's 18.8. So there's a 10-point difference when that rotation's in versus when Giannis is in. But
Okay.
that's all I got.
So it drops off, is what you're saying?
Yeah, by 10 points. That rotation itself, yes.
Okay. But with that being said, it is also apparent that when Giannis was out the last two games against the Hawks, when they closed them out, that other players they had to change the strategy. All of a sudden, Brooke Lopez discovered that he was 7'1" and was a center, and he dunked the ball a lot. He got points in the paint versus shoot 3-pointers, which he fell in love with. So,
since
with that being said, with Giannis being out, it gave the other players. Chris Middleton, for instance, averaging 28 points per game the last two games against the Hawks. It allowed them, it seemed to me, to be played freely. So I'm with you. So if Giannis doesn't play, let's see if Milwaukee can continue the trend that they were on when they closed out the Hawks, when everybody else stepped up, Bobby Portis included. But
right. I think this definitely segues perfectly into what you brought up, which was the road in the finals.
The road to the finals.
The road to the finals, excuse me. But yeah. I think that tacks on well because again, you got to go through some shit, to get to the finals and overcome it. But
got to go through some shit to beat the shit.
Right. So, and I mean, from what you just said, it kind of sounds like a Baker Mayfield situation. When he lost Odell Beckham, he kind of started flourishing. He felt a little more free. So I totally get what you're saying.
That's a great analogy.
Totally get what you're saying.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. He had to grow up and find other ways and other people to be successful. And I think that's what happened with Milwaukee when Giannis went down, because he's a superstar. He is the guy.
Right.
So what are you going to do now? Everybody else stepped up their game. Budna, I have to give Coach Bud credit. I don't know what happened, but like I said before, Brooke Lopez discovered he was tall, and he stopped shooting the threes. Now, to me, that's a good segue into the matchups for the finals. And
the road.
Well, yeah, let's go to the road to the finals first, because there are a lot of people criticizing both teams. Yeah. I heard Chris about Phoenix today because they beat the Lakers in the first round. They didn't have Anthony Davis.
4-2, swept the Nuggets, and then 4-2.
They were, but they didn't have Donovan Mitchell. So
no, the Nuggets.
I'm sorry.
Jokic. Yeah, they swept them. Yeah,
swept them.
Yeah,
they were healthy.
They were healthy, and they were looking good. They were going in to the playoffs pretty strong.
And then they want to say, well, they beat the Clippers, but the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
Well, I mean, if Phoenix's road to the finals was easy, then what was Milwaukee's?
I mean, Miami was a sweep. The Nets went to 7. Then
that was the hardest series.
Right.
But the Nets didn't have James Harden. They didn't have Kyrie Irving. They had him for a portion of the series. If the Nets would have had Kyrie, I don't think Milwaukee would have came out of that series.
If Kevin Durant stepped back 2 more inches, Milwaukee wouldn't have came back out of that series.
And if he maybe had passed the ball to somebody else, he was gassed. He didn't have no legs. That's why the short show.
It was before that, though. If he would have made that shot.
There's a lot of ifs in that scenario.
Yeah, but anyway, that's beyond the point. We're in the finals.
We digress.
Yeah, I got you. So, I mean, when you look at the road, okay, the Clippers or the LeBron and the Lakers, Jokic and the Nuggets, and then a pretty deep Clippers team. I mean, that's pretty strong still. I mean, because the Clippers aren't weak. They got a bench. They're about 12 deep. So
right.
And then Milwaukee.
And we would both agree, I'm sure, before you get to the Eastern Conference and how they got there, we will both agree that the Western Conference is still stronger than the Eastern Conference.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, Milwaukee's road. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, then Milwaukee. I mean, you got Miami. They swept them. The Nets to 7, like I said, and then they took the Hawks to 4. But you know, everybody is questioning because it's the Hawks and blah blah blah. Which I mean, I've been, you know me, I've been raving about their talent. I think they're talented. I was looking forward to them maybe advancing.
The right coach. They have the right coach.
You got
get the best out of the players, and they figure out what their style is. They know who they are. The Hawks know who they are,
right?
And they're only going to get better. But the road to the finals, I would have to say it was tougher for Phoenix because it's just the Western Conference,
right?
And I understand the injuries, but everybody's had injuries. Chris Paul was hurt. Chris Paul had to go through the COVID protocol. He missed the first 2 games against the Clippers.
Right.
So, you know, the national media are trying to criticize. They just don't like the matchup. And I say the hell with the media. They can go fuck themselves.
That's it.
Everybody's in the association for a reason. Everybody's playing for a championship. I'm sorry that the Lakers and the Celtics are not in it, or the Lakers or the Knicks aren't in it. I'm sorry that the big market teams aren't in it. This is what we have, and we got some great basketball.
Fuck that. We ain't sorry.
No,
we ain't sorry. Yeah, I got you. But fuck that. We ain't sorry. This is basketball, man. All these are grown men. I got you. Go ahead.
I'm being sarcastic. I was being facetious.
I got you.
We're sorry that the national media didn't get the matchup that they wanted, and now they want to criticize the road and how they got there. They're there.
Yeah.
And all the teams that were involved in the playoffs had injuries. So I think we can move on from that, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. And
maybe talk about how the series is going to go down. In game 1, the Suns are, the over-under is 218.5, 218 and a half, the over-under. And the Suns are favored by almost 6 points, 5.5. I'll let you start with the over-under. That's 220.
Yeah. What's crazy is that both teams' losses in the playoffs, which Phoenix is 12-4, and Milwaukee is.
I think they lost 5.
That's incorrect. That's 12-5. Yeah. So, all the losses for both teams have been losses that were scored over 100 points. So the opponent scored over 100 points. So I'm anticipating them. I'm going to take the under. Barely. I'm barely taking the under on that.
Okay.
And we'll say our predictions at the end of the show, but yeah. How about you?
Well, no, we're on it. We're on it right now. We're on it. But if you want to go to the matchups,
oh yeah.
Oh, we'll say the predictions for the end. Okay. Well, let's go. We know how that both teams got there. People criticizing Phoenix today. They criticized Milwaukee earlier, but that's who we have. So let's get to the starting lineups, and that's where the game's going to be won and lost to start. We'll get to the bench strengths and weaknesses. That could be where the game is won and lost later. And then we'll get to the intangibles like home court and the coaching matchup. So, but the starting lineups, let's just assume Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the starting lineup tonight, because I don't know who they will start other than him. It'd probably be DiVincenzo, but let's assume, and he's out.
He's out for it'll probably be Bobby Portis.
Be Portis then.
I would imagine it'd be Bobby Portis.
Okay. Let's go, man. How do you want to start it? You want to start with the point guard, where the offense where it starts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think before we get into that, you had mentioned something yesterday that you saw weird as far as the starting lineups. If you want to mention to the viewers what that was.
Oh, how you're talking about the positions, how they're
Yeah.
listed?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Phoenix, the Suns are listed as a traditional starting lineup. They have Chris Paul at the point guard. Devin Booker is listed as a shooting guard. Jay Crowder is listed as a strong forward. The weird thing is Mikal Bridges is listed as a strong forward. The weird thing about Phoenix is DeAndre Ayton is listed as a power forward and not a center. And then on the other side, Milwaukee lists Lopez as a center. Antetokounmpo is a power forward, which is what he is. PJ Tucker doesn't have a label. Chris Middleton is a strong forward, and Drew Holiday is a shooting guard. So they don't have a point guard. They didn't want to list PJ Tucker as a point guard for some reason.
Right. I
So
mean,
that is the anomaly that we talked about yesterday that I mentioned.
right. So when I see it that they're gonna match up CP3 with Drew, Booker with Middleton, I would imagine that PJ is gonna take the Booker assignment. That's what I would figure Budenholzer would do. But position by position, Booker, right. Middleton, Mikal, Tucker, Crowder, Giannis, Ayton, Lopez. So when they match up, I mean,
how do they match up? That's the way you think they're going to match up.
I think Tucker's on Booker. That's what I think.
Okay.
Because Tucker, he's been guarding the best player of the opposing team the entire playoffs. So I feel that's why they got him from the Rockets. He has a playoff experience going into the Western Conference Finals. So I think that he's going to have the assignment of Devin Booker.
He's okay. Booker's a scorer. Okay, right. That makes sense. You're gonna put your best defender on the best scorer.
Right.
and I will say this: PJ Tucker is he's thicker than Devin Booker.
Right.
What I mean by that, he's got more bricks in his pants. And what I mean by that is, it's not about his athleticism. It's about him, about the physicality. And in the last series, we all know that Patrick Beverley actually broke Devin Booker's nose. They tried to beat him up to stop him. Right. So I can see a rough and tough PJ Tucker trying to slow down Devin Booker. I would imagine he may even go at his nose. I'm telling you some good shit that you don't even know it's going to happen before it happens. I'm telling you because I know, because it's basketball and they're down to the nut cutting. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got really physical with him to slow him down like the Clippers tried to do. So
and he did. Devin Booker had a bad game after he broke his nose because they were roughing him up. Right.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying the strategy.
He had a bad day.
Right. The strategy seems to be, it's going to happen.
It's old school. Right. I.e. when Detroit tried to beat up Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's why they, So, I feel you. PJ Tucker on Booker. That means Drew Holiday is going to take Chris Paul, right?
Right. And
he's bigger. He's 6'3". Chris Paul 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's got more bricks in his pants. And Chris Paul, the matchup for him, he's a little bit light.
Yeah.
So that matchup to me will favor Milwaukee. So first two matchups, they favor Milwaukee to you.
Somewhat.
The guard play.
Somewhat. And this is again assuming that Giannis is going to play, and this is all full health. I'd like to think so. Yeah, because you still have Middleton and Giannis not in that equation. You're putting Drew and Tucker already on the Suns' two best players. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel. I honestly think that matchup is better on the Suns side. But because that attention from the lineup is being put there, I think the matchups on the other three spots are going to be much better for Milwaukee.
Okay, where do you want to start? We got Middleton, Giannis, and Lopez left. Who do they guard?
I think Middleton would guard it should be that Giannis guards Crowder,
Okay.
Middleton guards Mikal Bridges, and then excuse me, Aiton and Lopez, of course. I would imagine that's how that matches up, but
Now,
especially
here's
with
what I
Giannis being sorry to cut you off, but especially with Giannis not being 100%, I feel like although Crowder can't get off, but he exerts a lot of his energy on defense. He's a 3-and-D guy. Mikal Bridges, I feel like, has a better offensive repertoire, if you know what I'm saying.
yes, I do.
Yeah, so I think Giannis would be on Crowder because there's less energy that he would have to spend. So
That makes sense. The matchups from Milwaukee make sense, and I would say that their defensive matchups is probably better than Phoenix's.
right,
The way they have to match up with Milwaukee.
yeah,
But let's go the other way.
right.
Who does Mikal Bridges guard?
You would imagine it would be Tucker. I mean,
so now we're putting a strong forward on a unlabeled guy, a guard.
yeah,
Okay. DeAndre Ayton. I guess he's gonna guard Lopez. Right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
they'll match up.
That would be Lopez. Yeah, I see Jake Crowder guarding Giannis or Middleton. If Giannis plays, I think Jake Crowder would be the one guarding Giannis. Because he's the scrappy one. Jay Crowder's the one that does the dirty work. Like
right.
I can see him being the guy that guards Giannis or Middleton if Giannis doesn't play.
See the matchups.
Yeah,
You know, we're hypothetically speaking, if Antetokounmpo's he's in the lineup. We're always talking about him.
yeah. Okay,
He's in the lineup.
My bad. Yeah. So I got Crowder on Giannis.
Okay, you got Crowder on Giannis, and you had Giannis guarding Jay Crowder. Okay. You got Aiden guarding Lopez.
Right.
Who's Mikal Bridges guarding?
I think he'd be guarding PJ Tucker or Middleton. I could see Mikal Bridges guarding Middleton and Booker guarding PJ Tucker. I can see that.
That would help Booker out, maybe not. I don't know that. Because
again, I don't know, but you've seen Booker lately, and he's actually been very active on defense.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's noticed that, but he's actually been very present on the defensive end. So I could see him not guarding PJ Tucker because PJ Tucker just sits on the damn corner and shoots those threes and waits for rebounds and then swings the other way and guards the best player. That's what he does.
Okay, so that would help Booker. So that's the way you think it's going to be a traditionally matched up. You think Lopez is going to guard Aiden, and you think Aiden's going to guard Lopez. You think Middleton's going to guard Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is going to guard. You think it's going to be traditional. Chris Paul's. I think it's going to be mixes and matches.
It is going to be. I think it is going to be mixes and matches. Like that.
I think that's where Phoenix will flourish. Mm-hmm. That's where they're going to have to flourish in order to beat Milwaukee, because if they go straight up mano y mano and you're a center and you're a power forward and you're a strong shooting guard and then I think if Milwaukee plays like they should, Phoenix will lose that way. I think the flow of the game, Phoenix has to get out into the open floor and not let the matchups settle down. Yeah. Because I think the matchups favor Milwaukee. Indeed. I think they're too big for them on both ends of the floor.
Right. I'm with you. I feel you.
But I understand. Traditionally speaking, and we'll see once they tip off who's guarding who, but I don't think that it's going to stay that way throughout the whole game.
Right.
It's kind of hard now to guess and see what the coaches, who's going to guard who. It's not that easy to just say, okay, or Aiden's going to guard Lopez is going to guard Aiden. That's probably given.
Right.
I don't know if I don't know if Drew Holiday is going to guard Chris Paul. Maybe it might be PJ Tucker.
Could be.
You see
Definitely
what
could
I'm
be.
saying?
I could see PJ, and it's a switch up thing, but I could see PJ Tucker doing that too, because PJ Tucker is going to take an assignment of one of their two best players. That's going to happen.
And see, that's the thing. Can PJ Tucker, can he stop? Because that's where the money's going to come from.
Mhm.
Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Right. So
he can't guard them both.
Yeah.
He have to switch, and we'll see.
And the switches. This is why I imagine. I feel what you're saying. I could see Phoenix moving around a lot of parts and just trying to, jigsaw their way up to the top. I can see that. Another thing is, I can also see them getting to the free throw line a lot because
they don't settle for 3-point shots all the time.
Right. And they don't settle for 3-point shots. You're talking about Phoenix, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And not only that, they have 3 players in the starting lineup that are over 90% on the free throw line. So, and one of them is close. Mikal Bridges is 87. It's close. So they got 4 dudes that are about 90 or higher. And I could see them utilizing that. Monty Williams is smart enough to figure that out.
And you know that the 2 games that they played this year, one in Milwaukee, one in Phoenix, that Phoenix won by 1 point at free throw line in both games.
Yep.
There's a nugget. There's a nugget for you YouTube fans.
That's the one.
My man Raul B's kicking it, he dropping a ballistic kick and kicking the analytics. Free throw, that's going to be important.
100%. And I think that'll be a big factor. I mean, we know, as far as like all the statistics and all that bullshit, I mean, yeah, the Suns have the edge on 3-point shooting, free throw shooting, all that shit. Where the Bucks flourishes on the defensive side, and I don't know, man, it's tough. It's tough shit. Then you look at on the Bucks side, the only person they have that shoots over 80% on the free throw line is Middleton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We all know what Giannis does at the line.
Whopping 53.7.
Well, he's got the yips. He's got to learn how to shoot free throws.
Yeah. Alan Lopez, my bad. I missed him. But even then, man, the formula to me overall, when you look at it, because of everything else that comes into play, I don't know. I'm with you. I think they can figure it out. I want to say I'm getting the starting edge to the Suns.
It's close. We talked about it yesterday when I showed you the player ratings. I think Milwaukee had 3 players rated in the 80s or higher. Giannis is rated at 99, and we're assuming that Giannis is playing. And the Suns had 2 players rated in the 80s. And
he did walk in with a doubtful tag.
Well, we're assuming he's playing.
Right.
We're basing this conversation off he's playing. If he doesn't play, then
oh well.
But I'm not sure. Well, here's what I think now. I'm going to an intangible. I think with the starting lineups, I think Milwaukee's starting lineup, it depends. It depends on who imposes their will and how they want to play their game. If Milwaukee plays smart, because people have said sometimes Milwaukee plays dumb. They don't do what they should do because how big they are. They don't attack the paint. They fall in love with the 3-point shot. If they play dumb and Phoenix is allowed to impose their will, Phoenix will win.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there, and then they'll have to make adjustments. Now, if Milwaukee imposes their will as far as the advantage of being heavier and bigger, but not as athletic as Phoenix, I think Milwaukee will win game 1.
Yeah.
It's got to be seen, and then they'll have to make adjustments. But I don't know how you can adjust for a team beating you up.
Yeah.
unless you run them and you run them.
I know I said what I said, but I said Phoenix. I kind of jumped the gun on it, but in all reality, it should be the Bucks. The Bucks starting lineup has the edge. I mean, they're bigger. They're way bigger, but on every position, they can defend, they can shoot. They just suck at the free throw line. Well, not all of them can shoot, but yeah, they suck at the free throw line. But you're right. I think it comes down to them beating them up, and if they beat them up, I think it's a wrap. If they actually impose their will,
if they come with the conference style,
right? If they impose their will the way that you're talking about, go into full hockey mode and shit, start knocking people over,
and they know Devin Booker's hurt.
Yeah, so I mean, if they play, yeah, it should be the Bucks.
If they impose their will, if they play their
this
style,
is a perfect example of bronze versus brain. To me,
yes.
This is 100% the best example for that. And I mean, I don't. Who's gonna outsmart who or whatever, or who's, you know what I mean? It's like the giant, you know what I mean, walking around, and I don't know. Should be
for
the
me.
Bucks,
The starting lineup matches are like what you're alluding to me is David versus Goliath. Milwaukee's bigger, but David may have to outsmart the giant,
which I think is totally capable.
Exactly. Which is why I think we're going to have a very exciting 2021 NBA Finals, whether the people in Los Angeles, New York, Boston, LA, wherever they are, all the big city markets like it or not. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a titillating 2021 NBA Finals. Titillating. That's the word for the day. Titillating. Google that.
And
all beats.
Damn. You want me to? I can.
And no.
I got the screen up.
No, I'm just diving right now.
Damn, I got the screen up.
Google it later. Titillating. That's the word for the day. Now,
that's it.
Okay, we've talked about the starting lineups, and we don't know. We got an idea how we think they may match up, right? So, all the starting five for either team can't play the whole game. So that segues us to the bench. Who do you think has the advantage on the bench? And I'm going to mark out DiVincenzo because I keep saying his name, but he's out. So the next highest rated player on the Bucks bench is Bobby Portis, and he may have to start, but we're assuming that Antetokounmpo's playing.
For sure, and Cunnington, he's not bad.
And then?
I mean,
you got Jeff Teague, you got Forbes, you got
Forbes is nice.
Brother, you got Kurtz, Jay Jackson.
I think it goes there. I think to me it ends there. I think Forbes, Bobby Portis, and Cunnington to me are the key role players for them. Obviously Bobby Portis. So they're good 9 deep, 10 deep, solid 9-10, you know.
Oh, I only count 7. You and Forbes, I count 8. Unless you're counting Jeff Teague.
No. I'm saying Bobby Portis, Cunnington, Forbes. Damn, I can't remember who else. Anyway, I think let's go 8. That's fine.
That's 8.
But then on the Phoenix side, you got Dario Saric. You got Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne.
But yeah, Major Payne's listed way at the bottom as far as his rating goes.
Yeah, that dude's been.
Don't understand that, but
man. Cameron Payne's balling, man. Straight up. Fuck all these people.
He all grown up.
I think he's just in the right system.
He's not kicking it what Russell Westbrook no more and dancing on the sidelines.
Damn.
He's not a hype man no more. He got his own hype man now. Cameron Payne all grown up.
Yeah, I'm sure he still does dances on the side.
No, I haven't seen it in Phoenix. He all grown up. But other than Saric and Cameron Payne, there's more Kaminsky. I think they'll use Kaminsky with Giannis if necessary as the series goes on. He doesn't play much, but he's a big body. Craig, Carter, Johnson, Galloway.
To me, see, look, you say those names. I think Torrey Craig is good.
Torrey Craig, okay.
Cam Johnson's up and coming.
Cam Johnson, okay.
So I truly think the edge goes on the Phoenix side on this.
By maybe one player.
Yeah.
Then
'Cause, I
maybe
mean,
a little bit deeper.
you could exclude Cameron Payne because of all these fucking bozos that write these stats and shit, but I mean he's been lights out this playoffs, man. These playoffs. Yeah, he's been a momentum changer. Just about every
He's a
series.
major reason they are in the finals.
Right. Just about every series. And he comes in and lights them up. He was the one that gave the Phoenix Suns CPR, not CP3, couple series back. He gave them CPR. He gave them life. If it wasn't for him, he fucking dug him out of the water, man.
He did. He at one point he was to the Suns as to Reggie Jackson was to the Clippers. I understand what you're saying.
So
yeah, Cameron Payne has played a major part in them getting to where they are in these 2021 NBA Finals. As you're listening to it live on the TMI Fantasy Sports Podcast, that's what we're talking about right now. And I guess
so okay, you just listed all the players. Milwaukee's bench plays better away than they do at home.
That's in most cases.
Well, I mean, no, typically your bench players play better at home.
True. I stand corrected.
So that's what's weird to me. Now again, these are unprecedented times, and I mean the capacities kind of gradually went up as all the series, progressed and all that. But I mean, they play better away, which is weird to me. They're just as good. They're better in every statistical category that there is away. Phoenix is at home. They have home court advantage. And then you go to the Phoenix side, they play better at home.
Period.
Statistically. Now there's some categories where they step it up. They're actually 90% from the free throw line away, which is crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Man, put a fucking diaper on.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
God damn it.